the July wrap-up, mainly because we're down here in Florida, and the people that we came with, which is High and Tot and Wonder Twin, plus the Zodiac, they sleep forever. So I'm up for like 2 hours before them, and you can only meditate for so long. So I thought I'd make a video today. I was gonna go down to the ocean down there, but it is currently raining. So maybe tomorrow. Anyways, thought I'd do a July wrap up just because I didn't do one, and it seemed kind of fitting, it being rainy and all that. Anyways, I'll get to it. This water's getting all over my phone. So, first we have In the Woods. Let's see if I can get this on here. Boom, In the Woods. I put it on my list a while back when Lindsay Ray was still having videos on YouTube that wasn't private. It was a series that she said she liked, and I thought I might try it. It's not as great as I thought it would be. You know, she has a lot of videos that she likes that, a lot of books that she likes that I like too. It's not all YA, but it's, this one's about a detective in Dublin, Ireland. I think it's Dublin. Yeah. It's called the Dublin Murder File, so yeah, or Murder Squad, so it seems so. It's been a little bit since I read this. Anyways, he got, something happened to him when he was a kid, and him and his friends disappeared for a bit. He was found, and they weren't, and all that. And then another murder happens in the same area, and he sneakily is a part of the investigation. Him and his partner is a woman, and it was really close to the whole thing. They had this platonic relationship the whole time, and I was like, is this the one, you know? But they let me down. Anyways, I gave it 4 out of 5, but I probably won't finish the series or even go on to the next one. I think, if I remember correctly, she said that it was each one is a different character in the squad has a book, but I probably won't go on. After that, I read Sharpies. That's a short story list by Joe Abercrombie in the First Law World, which was fucking awesome. Nothing was like mind-blowing about any of the stories. It was just, when it's your favorite series and he goes back to that world, he could talk about, he could talk about like cutting toenails, and that would probably be pretty interesting. So, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about any of the stories because there's a bunch of them, and they were all nice. There wasn't one that I hated or anything like that. I liked all of them. They all kind of, had their nice little wrap up, and it was a good short story list. I don't read very many of those, but when it's by somebody that I just obsessed with, you got to, Next was Clear by Fire. The second one in this series, which was, hold on a second, Warning Order. It was at Barnes & Noble, and I was walking by, and I was like, hey, I like that cover, which, I do that sometimes. So, I was like, oh, let me see what this is. So I put it in my Goodreads, like I'm sure a lot of people do, to read when they don't have the money to buy the book. And anyways, it's going through my to reads, and I seen this in there, and I was like, hey, let me try this one out. So I downloaded it, and it was okay. I gave it 3 stars. It's, at first I was kind of confused because I'm horrible with names, but there's 2 guys that are working in the Middle East that are American, and one of them is a bad guy, and one of them is a good guy that's being fucked over. And I was thinking they were the same person there for a bit because I can't remember names. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, is he just playing both sides and this is just really good storytelling of a sociopath? Or what? And then, after, I don't know, let's say like, not even a quarter of the book, I figured out that they were two different people, and just at first I was confused. Anyways, there's no like sci-fi or fantasy element to it. It's just all like real world kind of things, and a guy, just trying to, one, fight the good fight, and two, clear his name kind of story. And it just has me talking about soldiers in the Middle East. I only gave it 3 stars, but I would probably continue on the series, this one, when I get around to it. After that was Wizard's First Rule. Boom. It was okay. I liked that it had more of a, I guess you'd say conservative lean to the undertones politically in this, because most of the time when you read a book, if there's any undertones at all, it's more of a, liberal kind of lean. But there was some things in here I didn't like. It just kind of, there was some, I don't know, what would you say, heavy-handed points in there. I may finish the series or not. I'm not quite sure yet, because I made the mistake of reading some reviews on it, and they said it's the same story over and over and over in a lot of his books, and about how, the girl gets caught, the main guy sucks in the book, and then all of a sudden realizes he's amazing, and that happens every book, which I don't want that. I would like for the story to progress some. So I don't know, I may give the second one another try, or I may give the second one a try, and if that doesn't seem much like the first, then I'll continue on. So it wasn't so much the book that makes me want to stop and not read the next one, it's the review of the series. But it's about a kid who lives in a land where there's no magic, that's on the other side of this wall that's stopping him from getting to this magic world. And this girl shows up and she says she's from the magic world and nobody's supposed to be able to travel through it, and it's him trying to help her save her world kind of thing, It's a, classical kind of fantasy, just with some different undertones to it. It's a good read. I gave it 4. After that, I've got, pull up. Thieves' Magic. I don't even remember why I picked this book. It was, like, really far on my to-read list. Like, way down there. Like, from, like, probably back when I got a Goodreads page. And I was like, well, probably not that far back. I'm sure it has something to do with the cover more than anything else. I'm assuming that's what it's about. Let me see if I need to follow the screen. I'll just go ahead and do that. So I found those scratches. But anyways, it's YA. It's got to be YA. I mean, it seems YA-ish. There's two characters through the book. There's a guy and a girl. The guy's in this kind of like steampunk mechanized kind of world with magic, and the girl's in this like really powerful religious world with magic. Like the religious people have all the power in the world, politically and socially. But anyways, it like flops between the two, and I really like the guy's portion, and I really hated the beginning of the girl's portion. Like towards the end of her portion, it got better. It got a lot better, but the beginning was just the typical YA. The world is weird, and nobody understands me, and me and my guy can just survive on love, and that kind of BS. But, yeah, it was kind of cool how they were talking about that, in their world, the magic, when you use it, it, like, sucks itself out of the air. It's not exactly what it does, but as you suck it out of the air, and it creates this void that's like smoke, and people that can use magic can see the smoke, and the stronger you are, the further out you can reach and pull in the magic. So, and in a couple, I think in both of their worlds, their magic is running out, so they don't have as much. And he finds this book that used to be a person, and it's telling him how to jump worlds, and he's trying to run away and all that kind of stuff, and she's kind of running away, but she gets caught and blah blah blah. I don't need to give you a whole synopsis, just go read it. Alright, I think this next one is the last one on the list. Damn, this camera just keeps fogging up. I'm gonna say this one. Anyways, I think this next one is the last one on my list for the July, so that makes 6. And it's To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And I know everybody should have read this book by the age of 12, and I didn't, and I'm a horrible person. And by the time I got into actual books, before I hated them, when I got into books, people were like, "Hey, it's one of the best books ever. It's either it or what is that Jane Austen book that everybody is just fucking obsessed with? The Sense and Sensibility? I don't know. I can't. One of the Jane Austen books. Like everybody's list either has the Jane Austen book or Harper Lee on the top. One of those two. And I read the Jane Austen book, and I hated it. I hate that kind of book so much. Like I tried the Somerset Maugham book because Dr. Light told me to, and I hated that book so much. And it's the same kind of writing. I mean, they aren't talking about the same thing at all, but anyways, I'm getting off subject here. Anyway, so me hating the other number one choice was the reason why I didn't think I would like this one. And I was so wrong. This book is this is one of the best books of all time. It's a great book. It kind of wraps itself up, so you don't have to read the second one if you don't want to, especially seeing how it come out like hundreds of years later. It did come out hundreds of years later, but like forever later.